What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV, where we bring it to you real and we bring it to you raw. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and definitely share the video. I think you might like this one. This video pretty much was kind of based on a couple of the last videos that I had done. I did the video about Omar Spearman, did the video about the death penalty, and that's why I'm doing this video on a Darris Mazio Black. See, I was in prison with a Darris. We were down in Coleman. And I did a bunch of his legal work for him, tried to help him, but it was pretty much a losing battle. And you'll be able to tell why it was a losing battle as we talk about the case. See, a Darris was everything that these young kids think they want to be. He started out as a small-time drug dealer, had some trouble when he was younger, but he had some entrepreneurship skills, but he was just in the wrong business. Because that business led to where he's at today. He's in USP Tucson today. Me and him were housed together in the same unit in USP Coleman. And that Darris is serving a life sentence. It's unfortunate that he's in the position that he's in because he made some irrational, irresponsible choices. And being a drug dealer, and he became a drug lord. Being a drug dealer comes with a business where you have to do things that maybe you don't want to do. Sometimes you do things that you really regret. And I can say this about this dude because I was in prison with him. We lived in the same unit. He hung out with me every day for about 6-7 months. We were pretty close. We were pretty cool. So let's get into his story, right? Drug lord. Some of you might remember the chick Angie Martinez. You know, that was one of his chicks. You know who Nick Cannon is? That was one of his good friends at the time. See, a lot of people in that world didn't know that a Darris was a drug lord. They didn't know that he was a drug kingpin. They thought he was a real estate agent in California. I believe he owned a couple of Bally's gyms in LA, one in Hollywood. He was that dude in that circle, right? But who was a Darris really? And who is he today? Darris had hooked up with a Mexican kid that had direct links to the cartel. And what they were doing was they would go down there to Arizona and they would pick up dope. They thought they had the perfect plan. They had the plan that the cops would never pick up on. They would get these tour buses and they would give everybody $1,000 to get on this tour bus and drive down to Tucson, and you can go gambling for free. Got a bunch of elderly folks on these buses, and they would go down there and they would pick up their dope. When I say dope, I mean cocaine. And they would have all those people on the bus driving back. It was a tour bus. Who's pulling over a tour bus with a bunch of elderly people that were just at the casino? And if they do pull them over, what are they going to do? Are they searching a bus with a bunch of old people that went to the casino? No. They weren't. And they probably never would have had there not been an investigation. You know, not only did they use them buses to pick up drugs and do what they had to do, but they also used them to transport money. In fact, one of the buses that was pulled over because of the investigation had over $1 million on that bus. Had over $1 million. This kid started out as a small-time hustler and became a big-time hustler. But what comes with being a big-time hustler? What comes with being a big-time drug lord? You know, you got the fancy cars, you got the women, you're out there chilling, you're doing your thing. And then comes the other part. The other part of being a drug dealer is going to prison. That's the part that no one desires. That's not the fun part. That's the part that hurts. And you see, when you're caught up in this drug game, sometimes, like I said earlier, you do things that you don't really want to do. And I know for a fact that Darris had killed some people. And he killed them because he became paranoid. But how paranoid? You know, there was an article about him years ago, I believe it was in the Don Diva magazine. He was so paranoid that if someone seen his face, he wanted to kill him. And he did. According to the government, Darris killed somebody that's seen him. There was another incident where the Connect, the dudes they were getting dope with, started selling some dope to some other dudes in Detroit. And Darris had pretty much told him, hey, look, man, this is my competition. Don't do this. And the dude, they called him Amigo. He was a Mexican dude. They said, hey, Amigo, don't sell no dope to these dudes. These dudes are my competition. Don't sell it to them. And Amigo said, man, I'm a businessman. So Amigo sold them some dope, sold them some cocaine, sold the competition cocaine. And that was about the end of it for Amigo. What happened to Amigo? I'm going to tell you. Amigo was shot and killed. And the dude he had with him, he was shot and killed too. And I believe they were lit on fire after they were killed. Their bodies were charred. And that's where it all goes bad, right? That's when they start talking about the death penalty. That's when, you do things like that. That's when the investigation gets serious. And if they aren't investigating you, as soon as someone's murdered, guess what? The investigation comes on. The lights are on. The police are on you. They're all over now. Tapping your phone, talking to people in the street. And somebody puts out the word. That was a Darris. Was it the competition? Did they want to eliminate a Darris any way possible? Did they want to get him out of the way? Because that's what you're looking at. When you're out here getting money and you're getting it the wrong way, there's always people, man. There's always wolves lurking, looking to get at you, looking to get rid of you. Somebody was looking to get rid of a Darris because a Darris was looking to get rid of them. You want to be that dude? And things got so crazy. Let me tell you about how crazy it got with a Darris. This man went to Mexico and had his fingerprints removed. He also had a face transplant. So when you seen him, it looked like he had these metal bars in his forehead. Once upon a time, he was bald. And he actually got a real hair transplant and ended up growing a lot of hair. And one of the other craziest things that he did during the course of his case, he was being transported to court. And he had told the transporters, he said, look, I think they were just regular deputies from a county jail. I don't believe it was the marshals. And they're transporting him and he tells them, listen to me. And I know this because, like I said, I was with him. We talked every day. His appeals are over with. Unfortunately for him, he's never getting out of prison. He's going to die in prison. He's going to die. He's in USP Tucson. He's going to die in Tucson. They're going to carry a Darris out in a body bag. That's his life story. That's how his road of drug dealing ends. But anyway, back to the story. This man was on a bus. And he tells the people, he said, listen, if you take me to this warehouse, I will give you guys $1 million. If I was the deputy, I guess I'd probably look at him and laugh. Unless, of course, I knew who I was dealing with. And he told him, he said, listen, I'm serious. I will give you $1 million. It's at this place. Do not unhandcuff me until you get your $1 million. And just let me go. Act like I escaped somehow. And they didn't do it. And the bus is driving down the highway at a high rate of speed. And what do you think a Darris does? He's so desperate to get out of his situation, to get out of prison. He jumps out of the van. This van's doing 55, 60 miles an hour. How does he live? And the crazy part about it is when he told me this, like I laughed. And when I laughed, he just stared at me. Like, what are you laughing at? I just thought it was absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely crazy. You have to be at a point where you don't even care about your life to jump out of a van that's going 55, 60 miles an hour. And how the hell did he survive? I have no idea. But I could tell you this. He's a better man than me because I wouldn't jump out of a van going that fast. I don't care if I was serving life or not. Think about that. What was he thinking? Did he think he was going to jump out of the van and get away? Maybe. Maybe he thought that. Perhaps that's what he was really thinking. That he could jump out of the van and run away and the cops won't catch him. Or maybe you just wanted to die. In the end, none of it was worth it. All the money in the world, can't spend it no more. It's all gone. It's all over with. And you know, while me and Darris were there was another cat there named Bunky Brown out of Miami. And Bunky had told me that. He said, Chad, I did a bunch of Bunky's legal work, and he ended up getting out of prison. But it didn't look like he was ever going to. He was an old man. He said, man, I once had the keys to the city of Miami. He said, Chad, I got all the money in the world, but I can't spend a penny of it. Crazy, huh? Got all the money in the world, can't spend a penny of it. Think about that. Because eventually that's where the road ends. The road ends in prison. It ends where you got all the money in the world, but you can only spend $330 a month or $360 a month on commissary, eating the same bullshit, sitting in a prison cell, wishing that you could get out. And that's the thing about a Darris. When you're out there getting money and you're living that life, you know, you're eating good, you're living good, but you're always paranoid. You always think that they're watching you. You always think that at any moment this could all end. But you keep going. You keep pushing. You keep doing what you were doing. And in the end, it's nothing but a jail cell for you, right? That's where the story ends. It ends in that jail cell. It ends with your life pretty much being over with. Do you want to be that dude? Do you want to be like a Darris Mazio Black? You want to be that guy? Be the man, big gold chain, controlling everybody? And then you have to resort to killing people because you're so paranoid? You want to kill your competition? Because that's the road that you're heading down. That's exactly where you will be at. You will be on that road where you have to do things that you don't want to do. And those things could cost you your life. And this was a case where there was a co-defendant, right? The kid that was the connect with the Mexican cartel. His name was Chris. And I was also in prison with Chris at another prison. Chris was facing the death penalty. And let me tell you the crazy thing about Chris. Chris was out there getting all this money. Couldn't read and write. But this was a Darris's right-hand man. He was the link. He was the guy that connected the Darris to the cartel. And that's how they made millions of dollars. But the wild thing is, these same people, they had lost some money. Chris had a girlfriend that was a stripper. She did a bunch of bullshit in the case. They lost a bunch of money. So when Chris goes down there to Mexico, through Arizona, they capture him. And they tell the Darris, you want your guy back, you got to bring $1 million down here. This is what he owes. We're going to cut his fingers off. We're going to start with his fingers. And the Darris went down there to get Chris. He went down there with that $1 million. But did he go because it was his friend? No. He went because it was his connection to the cartel. And that's another part of the story. Nobody cares about you. When you're in the drug game, everybody's smiling, everybody's having a great time. But it's never about you. It's about what you can do for other people. And the moment that you can't do for other people anymore, that's when they slam the door. That's when it's all over with. That's when the friends start to do the Houdini act and they disappear on you. That's where Darris is at now. He's sitting in a prison cell. And he knows his fate. He knows that this is it. He knows that life, how he knew it, is forever gone. Do you want to be the dude sitting in a cell talking about my life is forever gone? Do you want to be that dude showing people your pictures like, look what I used to have? Look at the places I used to go. These are the places that I'll never go ever again. These are the things that I'll never have again. It's up to you, man. It's not up to me. It's not up to your wife. It's not up to your kids. It's not up to your parents. It's up to you. You're in the driver's seat. Are you doing 155? With respect, blood on a razor wire. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and we'll be back at you tomorrow.